Video, I wanted to illustrate a little bit of a communication failure that came from a real life example. And I wanted to also feature the person who was in this communication failure. This is my daughter, Janessa.
Hi.
She's a current student here. She's in the Psych Sciences program and she lives on campus. And so, go Tops.
Go Tops.
Go Tops, rock and roll. So, she had a interaction with an organization named BAND. Tell us a little bit about BAND.
So it's basically kind of like a social media for groups, I guess. It's like GroupMe. My dorm, our floor, instead of using GroupMe or not Slack, but something like that, they put a little QR code up and it was like join BAND. And so it's just one of those communication apps.
Okay, excellent. So she signed up to communicate, absolutely. And when you signed up, how do you typically, when you're asked to pick a username, what do you use for your username?
Nessa.
Nessa. And so her name is Janessa, but Nessa is short for that, right?
Yeah.
How do we spell it?
Nessa.
Nessa. So you signed up, everything was fine, and then you received this email. And for you guys at home, what you can see, it says, nice to meet you. And then, of course, her name is Nessa. But instead of Nessa, it put in N******A. So, Nessa, how did you feel when you saw this email?
Okay, when I saw it, this says 4:30, but this was me screenshotting it retroactively. I had signed up for BAND the night before because I saw it when I was getting back to my dorm before I was about to go to bed. And so I woke up and I checked my email, and right at the top, it's like, nice to meet you. And then I was like, oh my God. What? How did they know? So I was like,
Right.
I was shooken.
Right. And of course, I know it's obvious, but I'll say it. We identify as African American, right? And N***A, while that is their way to obfuscate that name, that clearly resembles a slur. A slur that I think we all affectionately call the N-word, right? And so when you saw that, of course, like you said, you're taken back a little bit. So what did you do? Like, what was your response?
Well, first I sent it to all my friends because I was like, girl,
Okay, so you said
look what they did to me. But then I sent in a request because I was like, I doubt they did it on purpose. They should probably know, like a little ticket response thing.
All right, and I'm going to read the response you sent. And Janessa provided me with these screenshots. That's why you can see them there. Hello, I go by Nessa, and I happen to be black. After signing up, I got an onboard email that said, nice to meet you, N***A. It took me off guard. I thought I'd share that LOL, right? And so I think you took a very kind approach to it, right?
Yeah.
Which there's nothing wrong with it. However, and I'm going to jump in a little bit from the coursework we talked about. When we're talking about bias and everything, in section 2.2 and 2.3, we talk about routine messages. And would you say this message was routine?
Yes. Like, it's something, they have sent me actually multiple emails that say that on it. It's like a routine message.
It's a routine, right? So we don't believe there's some human type.
No, yeah, it's like definitely automated. If
Definitely
I had to guess.
automated. It's an automated message, and they keep sending this out. However, culturally, I think they missed the mark here, right? And whether on purpose or not, but they definitely missed the mark. And so this is their response. And let me ask you, in the class, pause for a second and think about how you would respond to this, right? You have an African American young, hey, guess what I'm talking about? She's much cooler than I am. I'm truly a nerd, but I feel it. But take a moment and think about, as an organization, how would you respond? One of your users who's from a certain group, ethnicity, or culture has signed up. All they've done is provided their nickname, and now they feel as if you are not on purpose. They've even indicated LOL. You are calling them a slur in their email, right? So take a moment, pause it, and just reflect on that. Okay? And then let's show you what they sent back. So you sent this to them.
And I provided a screenshot.
A screenshot.
It doesn't show that, but I did.
How long did it take them to respond?
3 days?
3 days.
Maybe 2-3 days.
So in this case, 72 hours have passed. You've had enough time to read this email, share it with your friend group, and reflect on it. And then what they sent back is this. And I'm going to read this. Hello, this is BAND Help Center. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. Masking the profile name is required by privacy law, and we apologize if this caused any uncomfort to you. We will see how we can improve this internally. Best regards. So how'd you feel about that when you got it?
I didn't love it. Like, it's one of those things where it's a weird situation, so I didn't have any expectations for what they'd say.
Mm-hmm.
But them saying the whole it's a requirement for privacy felt like a lie, just because I've never seen that before.
Yes.
And then, as I'm sure you'll show, in the app, my username is very much visible to everyone else, and this is an email that only I would see. So the only place they're censoring my name is to send it to me.
Right.
And so then I was kind of like, okay, well.
Well, and let me ask you, what does it make you think about Band as an app and as a company now? And first answer that question, and then I'll ask you a follow-up.
I feel like they don't actually care, but I mean, it's not like I was like, I'm in love with Band. I just signed up. But it was definitely like, okay, like, if you don't care, just say you don't care, I guess.
Well, and so, like, let's say you were headed in a positive direction. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you'd still be going that way? Or
no.
So it stopped it, right?
Yeah.
So the goodwill that the app could have built through the actual, and you can't see me pointing, I'm pointing at the screenshots, through the actual interaction with the app, is negated by this email. And not necessarily the email, but really by how they responded. Mm-hmm. Because it felt like initially that this was just a mistake. Probably one of the programmers, and again, I have a background in computer science. My daughter is a programmer, and she works in full stack programming. So we know how programmers just kind of get in the programming cave and start doing stuff. And they may not have communicated to marketing that our little algorithm is going to convert names into slurs for people named Kate or Nessa or anyone else, right? And so, so you could have forgiven that. But then when you got the response, and the response said, oh, there's a law's the reason we're doing this. And it's obvious that this is a very obscure law if it only affects you receiving your own name, right, which doesn't feel real. Mm-hmm. And that the language says caused uncomfort to you, and uncomfort is not a word that is used, right? So we know that there hasn't been a lot of effort put in this response. Yeah. And the reason I wanted to illustrate this to the class is because these communication failures are not just case studies, are obscure examples. These are happening on the daily for apps where we have come to expect a level of professionalism, and we've come to expect them to actually be communicating at a high level. Right. And so just think about that, and let me say thank you to my daughter. Thank you, Janessa,
of course,
for letting us share this very ugly traumatizing moment with a bunch of strangers. Yeah. They're my class, but they're strangers to you. And for you guys out there, if you are involved in this type of communication, not just for the class, but in your business life, make sure that you are paying attention to these different aspects of communication. Let's say bye. Toodaloo.
Bye.
Bye-bye.